Good afternoon, everyone. I am Nikka Castañeda, and I'm going to report about the during readiness activities. First, we're going to tackle the activity about the vocabulary. So, what is the word vocabulary? So, the words students know and use to make sense of the world around them, including receptive and expressive vocabulary in the preschool years. Vocabulary tends to grow from about 200 words to closer to 2,000 words. How it supports reading. Students use oral vocabulary to contextualize the words they see in print. It's easier to decode a word that is already recognizable and holds meaning. So the activity is, what am I and what I am describing? Teachers can link this activity to a current unit of study or pretend they are preparing for the activity, like making breakfast. It can also be limited to what's in the room. Think of an item, like describe it using as much detail as possible. Each detail adds additional vocabulary for students to learn. For example, in describing an egg, you might say, we eat it. It needs to be refrigerated. It usually counts as one of a dozen. It could be white or brown and fits in palm of my hand. Once a student guesses correctly, it's their turn to describe something. Second is the print motivation. So what it is? Students' active interest in enjoyment of books and being read to. How it supports reading. So students with high print motivation look through books on their own and maybe even recite memorized books, looking closely at the words to match them to the words they are speaking. Like, they are less likely to give up trying to learn to read, and even if it's difficult for them. So the activity is retell or your favorite book. Pick 5 to 10 books you've read together as a class and display them. Ask a volunteer to retell one of the stories. So they should not say out and which book they have picked. So remind the volunteer to use details to include the beginning, middle, and ending of the story. And set a timer for 5 minutes. So during the retelling, and other students can ask questions about the plot, characters, and setting to get more information. When the timer goes off, whichever student can guess the correct book takes the next turn. So third, the print awareness. So what it is? Understanding that print has meaning and is organized in a certain way. So such as that letters from words form sentences, and that the spaces in between matter. So how it supports reading. So students learn that books start of the front cover, that English print is read from left to right and top to bottom, and that words they point to match the words and being said. Students with strong print awareness skills tend to practice the act of reading books even before they can read. So the activity is, may I can read. So environmental print book, students recognize environmental print like this. So the words found all around them, such as the logo of a favorite cereal, restaurant, or toy brand, or the exercise in the classroom. So long and before they can read words. So environmental print books create an artifact, all of the words students recognize through everyday life. Provide each student with a notebook. So write an A on the first page and continue the rest of the alphabet on additional pages. Throughout the year, give students food labels, flyers, and other print materials, words they're able to recognize and read for each letter can be glued the correct page all year long. Fourth is narrative skills. What are they? So, being able to understand and tell stories in a sequence manner. So, how they support reading? Narrative skills help students understand meaning and a sequence in the stories, which ladders up to reading comprehension skills as they begin reading. So, the activity is, what's my story? You may already have sequencing cards in your classroom. If you don't print some on hand, put a set of cards in an envelope and provide one to each student and ask them to put the cards in a line and tell you the story in their own words. So, students may not the pictures in order you expect, but if they can tell you the current of the story for the sequence pictures, there's no need to correct the order. Fifth is letter knowledge. So, what it is? Recognizing and understanding that letters are different from each other and that they have names, and that certain sounds are associated with each letter. Okay, so how it supports reading? Letter knowledge provides students with a symbol imaginary schema, which combined with phonological awareness skills help them decode more words easily. So this activity, hanging up the letter laundry, this activity requires a little setup but can be played independently. So use the permanent marker to put one letter of the alphabet on each of the 26 clothespins. So then find pictures, magazines, and images, photos, or clip art of commonly recognizable items to glue to index cards. Find at least one of each letter. So turn each index and over and write the name of the object on the back. So put the index cards and clothespin in a bin or ziploc bag. So students can then hang up the laundry by taking a card, naming the picture, and clipping the card to the clothespin whose letter matches the sound of their word begins with. So once all the laundry is drying, students can check their work by turning the cards over to see if the first letter in the name of the object matches the letter of the clothespin. So sixth is phonological awareness. So what it is? So the ability to hear and work with the sounds in spoken words. So how it supports reading? The ability to hear rhymes, alliteration, and word family chunks such as at, it, or up help students move from noticing to doing. Once they can play with oral language, they combine with this letter knowledge to build a comparable skill in reading, phonemic awareness. So the activity is sounding off the beat. So this is a chant, clap, knee tap game during your students need to sit in a circle. So in chairs or on the floor in crisscross applesauce position. So start a rhythm that your students can follow. It's best to start with something slow like clap, tap, clap, tap, clap, tap, clap, tap. So once the students can keep the rhythm going, decide if you want them to manipulate the beginning sound of a word or come up with a rhyming word. So here's how a round might go if you choose rhyming words. So clap, tap, clap, tap. Teacher, let's start with a rhyme. It's time, it's rhyme. So clap, tap, clap, tap, clap, tap. Teacher, jog. So clap, tap, clap, tap, clap, tap, clap, tap. First student, dog. So clap, tap, clap, tap, clap, tap. Second student, clog. So, clap, tap, clap, tap, clap, tap. Third student, frog. So, a round ends when nobody can produce another rhyming word. So it is alliteration. So the rhyming words, using the rhyming words. Okay. So that's all my report. Thank you for watching and listening.